For the last 35 years, renowned chef Raymond Blanc has inspired the world with his cooking.
It's about celebrating that gorgeous, glorious food and sharing a special moment with your loved ones.
Now he's opening his kitchen and sharing his secrets.
I've made all the mistakes which could be made, so you don't have to make them yourself.
Showing, with a little effort,
Food is so beautiful.
anyone can bring some joy to the dinner table.
Even the most complicated dish is not impossible to make.
On Kitchen Secrets, Raymond demystifies the art of creating show-stopping desserts with chocolate.
Really lovely, yummy.
From a simple chocolate mousse
Like air, something so light.
to a chocolate tart finished to perfection.
So simple. No sweat,
Chocolate fondant, a great dinner party dessert that never fails to impress. And for the grand finale, café crème, a cup sculpted entirely from chocolate.
You have to love someone so very much to make this dessert, and that's certainly a proof of love. Bon appétit. Give me another egg, mon petit. Give me another egg.
In the back kitchen of his Oxfordshire restaurant, Raymond's preparing his first recipe. To begin, Raymond's take on a classic, dark chocolate mousse, which he says anyone can create in just 10 minutes.
So I'm going to cook the simplest chocolate mousse in the world, and probably one of the best as well. And it's Maman Blanc, my mother's recipe. All what you have, 3 ingredients. 170 grams maximum of chocolate, about 20 grams sugar, and 7 egg whites. You can buy a good chocolate. It is actually the quality of the chocolate which is very, very important. Because to me, gastronomy starts from here. If you have a great chocolate, you'll have a great chocolate mousse. Unless you decide to murder it. That's how. I've got a little bain-marie here. No bowl, just gentle simmer, just on the simmering pot. Just leave it to melt down on its own accord. It's not a prima donna. Occasionally you can stir it, should you wish. I've got my beautiful eggs here. They are organic. I'm only going to use the egg white. If you want to make sure that you don't have any trace of egg yolk, because egg yolk is fat, and the white hates fat, you will actually lose about 1/5 of your lift if you have any fat in here. Okay, don't worry about that. Just scoop it out a bit, no problem. Okay, voila. And I'm going to add a little bit of my lemon juice to my egg white. It will bring the egg white together. I can beat it as long as I want to, it will not separate.
Now it's time to get going with a little light whipping.
Years ago I was a masochist, but now I've learned a few lessons. I learned to economize myself. So what I want here, billions of bubble of air, as big as possible, so my mousse is as large as possible.
When the eggs start to foam, add 40 grams of caster sugar.
What a machine! Oh mon Dieu! So now, is it ready? No. See, it's a bit too soupy. You can see, oh, I hate this thing. I prefer a whisk, Voilà. Tiens, mon petit père. Tiens, merci, Adam. Merci, mon petit père. Okay, I've got my melted chocolate. So you place 1/3, okay, of your egg white. But then work fast, very fast. The risk is, if you're putting the cold egg white into the warm chocolate, and that's going to seize up, and you'll have lots of solid pieces into your chocolate.
Having lightened the chocolate with 1/3 of the egg whites, carefully fold in the remainder.
It's a nice movement, okay? Look at my movement. I take it like that, and I turn around from underneath. Voila. Just pour it in.
The mousse then needs to go straight into the fridge to cool for 2 hours.
That's it. It's as simple as that. So it should take basically for any cook about 10 minutes of your life. I think it's worth it. Much worth it.
There are hundreds of varieties of chocolate on the market, and for Raymond, 100% dark chocolate is irresistible.
That is seriously bitter. That's what I love the most. You know, it's got so many lovely qualities. It melts in the mouth with wonderful flavors. Or you feel melancholic, or let's have a bit of chocolate. You feel a bit under pressure, or let's have a bit of chocolate. You feel happy, you want chocolate. So you must always, at all times, have chocolate in your cupboards. That's always de rigueur.
To test his office staff's taste buds, he's taking them a selection ranging from a sweet milk chocolate to the darkest chocolate available.
Okay, Adam, let's see the girls. See if they love their chocolate, okay? Hello les filles, hello les gars. I have decided to have your attention 1 minute. I've decided to change the bonus system. We pay by chocolate now. Okay, so you can do a bit of tasting of chocolate. Who doesn't like chocolate?
Number 9 is the cheapest, containing just 20% cocoa solids.
So which one do you prefer?
Number 9 is
Actually,
beautiful.
that sounds...
Number 9, yes.
Number 9 tastes like...
Yeah, most of you have loved the number 9. And actually that's the worst chocolate. It's very highly sweet. It's very addictive. It's very, the sweetness. It's got only 20% cocoa content. I really feel so disappointed. So from tomorrow we are going to have a chocolate tasting every day at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Adam, I asked you brown flakes this morning. He was very clear about it.
Raymond's next recipe is a chocolate délice, a rich, dark chocolate tart with a nutty, crunchy base.
It's a délice au chocolat. It's a bit like a tart au chocolat. You got the base. I've used brown flakes, and you just crunch them up nicely, and you have a praline. Praline you can buy it in any shop. You can also make it yourself.
Praline paste is easy to make. All you need to do is blitz equal quantities of roasted hazelnuts and caramelized sugar in a blender.
Then you mix flakes to your hazelnut paste. So simple. It's a builder's job. Okay, if you're good, no, you don't need to be a chef. You need to be a good builder. You know, it's like doing some cement, you know? Voila. And that's my base for my tart, huh? Taste it. Really, really lovely. Yummy.
Place the mixture between 2 sheets of greaseproof paper and get ready to roll.
Adam, could I have my rolling pin, please? I want a big one. I want a serious one. And that one, okay, I found it a bit too thin. Très bien. That's fine. Très bien. You've got this wonderful, very nutty hazelnut texture here. And Adam, have you got a palette knife for me? Thank you very much, Adam. And that, I'm going to keep it in the fridge. Ah, now, le chocolat. Let's go. Très bien.
Next, the filling for the chocolate tart.
I'm going to boil my milk and my cream together. The eggs. Très bien. So our milk now is rising up, and I'm going to pour it over my eggs. The eggs, the magic of the eggs is binding that cream. And now, all what I've got to do is to add my chocolate. Oh la, beautiful chocolate. Look at it. Voila.
For this, Raymond's using a dark chocolate containing 70% cocoa solids.
You see? Beautiful. Yes.
When the mixture is smooth, pour it into a pastry frame.
Voila.
Then put it in the fridge to set for at least 6 hours.
Voilà.
While the tart sets, prepare the decorations that will transform this simple dish into a work of art. First, make a caramel. Melt sugar in a heavy base pan until it is rich and golden in colour.
What I want is a bit of darker colour, so I can give a bit of flavour to my caramel.
Put a roasted hazelnut on a cocktail stick, dip it in the caramel and pin in some blue tack to produce a long tail.
Look at that, beautiful.
Next, a light coffee foam. Add melted gelatin to some strong coffee and a little sugar, then whisk until frothy.
Because you've got the richness, okay, in the hazelnut, praline, and then the richness again in the chocolate. So I want a sauce just like air, something so light. Okay?
Once the tart is set, it's time to decorate. Dust with some grated 70% chocolate.
Nice little textures, no? Icing sugar, please. Très bien. So just very lightly. It's so simple. No sweat, Yes, it's just a tiny little garnish. Very pretty, very dainty. Voilà, tout simplement. Never throwing things away, please, Adam.
Next, a perfect dinner party dessert and a guaranteed hit with chocoholic guests. A soft-scented, dark chocolate cake with a salted caramel centre.
So chocolate, I think that everyone will truly love because it's got everything which is perfect about chocolate. And wonderful for dinner parties because you can actually make it in advance. So imagine you've got your friends around the table. They're all happy, you've served them a great starter, a great main course, fabulous cheese. Then you get up, you make sure everyone knows that you get up, and you say, Monsieur, my friends, I'm going to make my fondant au chocolat. And you disappear in the kitchen and come back 5 minutes after with your fantastic fondant au chocolat. They will say, wow, you get serious admiration. I can show you serious admiration.
Start the recipe with a salted caramel. Prepare a caramel base by melting caster sugar. In a separate pan, mix together double cream, brown sugar, a little glucose, and bring to the boil.
So now I'm adding the cream, brown sugar, glucose to the caramel. Wonderful fusion. Look at that. I want that temperature at 102. Why? Because I want a rich caramel, okay, which is going to hold together.
While the caramel cools, get a plastic mould.
Some silicone molds, you can buy them now about everywhere. But you can buy, if you don't have that, you can buy ice cube trays, no problem. I'm going to add a little bit of my lemon juice to give it a bit of oomph. A little bit of salt. The salt, of course, we all know too well, is a castalyst flavor, okay? And that goes very well with sugar, that enhances the flavor, but very little.
Salt is a natural flavour enhancer and balances the sweetness of the caramel.
So then let's taste. Ah, that's very interesting. Because salty, acid come in, bit of pepperiness. That's lovely.
Allow the mixture to cool and then pour into individual moulds. Put the caramel in the freezer to set for 2 hours. Next, prepare the fondant mix. Begin by melting butter and dark chocolate over a pan of simmering water.
I'm going to create the base. The base, I have 2 eggs, 1 egg yolk, 45 grams of icing sugar, okay, and a little bit of arrowroot. So I'm going to be a human machine. I'm going to whip this until it does a beautiful texture. We call it in French, le ruban.
The ribbon stage is reached when the mixture becomes thick enough for the whisk to leave a thin, ribbon-like trail behind it.
Oh, it's a bit of sweat to go with it, I'm sorry. But you don't have to do it like me. You can actually do it in a machine. And you can whistle at the same time. So I don't know if I will achieve the ribbon, or if the ribbon is going to kill me.
After achieving your ribbon, prepare the cake moulds. Brush with butter and then dust with a mixture of cocoa powder and sugar.
The butter will melt. It will give a lovely crust outside. Voilà. Très bien. So now, pour my fondant mix here. Très bien. Et voilà, that's ready.
Using a ladle, pour the fondant mix into the moulds until they're 3/4 full.
Look at that, lovely. I mean, nothing can beat chocolate. Beautiful. Voilà, très bien. So I'm waiting for my caramel. Could I have the caramel, please? Merci, madame. Okay, très bien. So just place it a little bit on here. You just bury it very nicely here.
Put the fondants in the fridge to cool for half an hour. Then place them in the oven at 200 degrees centigrade for 5 minutes. When ready, allow them to cool before removing them from the moulds. The fondants can be set aside until you need them. Then it's time to concentrate on the decoration and make a rich chocolate sauce combining milk and 70% dark chocolate.
Hey, that's a very good design, that. You see? Typical. That's annoying for a cook. That's terrible, look. Look. I mean, that's the most good design. That should be burned. Oh God, it's my name on it. Who got that? That's a good one. That's good.
When you're ready to serve the fondants, put them back in the oven for 8 minutes at 180 degrees centigrade. While the fondants are reheating, it's time for the crucial dressing of the plate. Begin with the chocolate sauce.
1 second, fondant out. Empty. In 30 seconds.
Fondant's ready, chef.
Okay. Okay, so you can do a very simple little garnish with a bit of almond, pistachio. Look at this beautiful color. Why not a little pistachio ice cream, a little spot underneath, or an almond. To see first if it's well cooked. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look, all that cream oozing out. Beautiful. Voila.
At the heart of every great dish lies the perfect combination of flavours. The same can be said for the making of fine chocolates. Raymond is on his way to visit an old protégé, William Curley, at his shop in Richmond. For his unusual combinations and skill, William's been awarded Best British Chocolatier for the last 3 years.
Quite excited to let him see what we're doing here, and hopefully sees a little bit of his restaurant and our work, and just lovely to see him, really.
Good morning, everyone. Lovely, William.
So, how are you?
Lovely.
Good to see you.
You well?
I'm very well. Yourself?
Very good, Monsieur. Congratulations. Well
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Really brilliant. You know, that's the first time I come to you.
Yeah.
It's a disgrace. I'm
no,
a disgrace.
No, you're busy. I understand. So, why don't you taste the chocolate? There's a yuzu here. Would you like to taste the yuzu?
Yeah, absolutely. The taste of a good chocolate. Tell me if I'm wrong. Eh?
No, you're right. You're right.
Put it in your mouth. Just close your eyes, relax, and let go.
And you get all lovely flavours coming through, not just.
And just concentrate on these wonderful flavors. It should almost melt in your mouth. Just completely dissolve quietly. Perfect. Lovely. Lovely textures.
Would you like to go upstairs?
Love to.
Let's go.
Upstairs is William's test kitchen, where he experiments with different flavours.
It's a lovely little laboratory, a lovely little place to lose yourself. Just create a new dish. Fantastic.
It's lovely that you've came to the shop at last. I'm just so happy to see you. That's all.
Absolutely.
He's going to make Raymond his award-winning rosemary and olive oil chocolate.
So we have the whipping cream, and when it comes to the boil, we're then going to add the fresh rosemary. Allow it to infuse, I would say 20 minutes. So just got the flavour left within the cream, and then we'll emulsify that with the chocolate and a little bit of olive oil.
It's quite an unusual combination as well. It really works extremely well.
So I have one here that we made this one yesterday. We cooled it down, and then first thing this morning we've cut it.
That's for you.
Thank you.
It's quite fascinating how the flavors from hot, from warm
change when
to
they're cold.
cool, completely different.
Absolutely.
But the structure has remained. It's really lovely to see the artisan at work, the craft. And that's why your chocolates are a bit more expensive, because it is certainly not a factory. All is handmade, piece by piece. Okay, and that's what the difference is. Bien. Procède here, thermometer. It's here, très bien. I just need to put my head together.
For the last recipe, a feat of chocolate making. One of Raymond's signature desserts, café crème. A cup sculpted completely from chocolate, filled with iced espresso parfait, topped with cherry liqueur sabayon, with sugar-coated truffles.
I am going to prepare a very special dessert, and it is one of my oldest desserts. It took me about 6 months solid work on this dessert to realize it. And you'll understand exactly why. Okay? But you have to love someone so very much to make this dessert, and that's certainly a proof of love. There's no doubt about it, but it's possible. You've got 500 grams of chocolate, which is melted at about 50-55 degrees. Okay? Which I have 500. No, Adam, please, Adam, can you leave it? Sorry, just. Okay, it was getting too hot. No, it was off. Okay. Can you just? Why don't they do a bloody thing which would stick to it, no? They give you a thermometer, and you put it on the side of it, and then the first thing it does is slid in the chocolate. Great. Instead of putting a little catch, maybe here on that side. See, again, choose your equipment well.
A good thermometer is useful, as the chocolate needs to reach the right consistency to sculpt. First, heat the chocolate to 55 degrees centigrade. Add chopped chocolate to reduce the temperature, then reheat to 32 degrees.
Voilà.
This is known as tempering. It refines the chocolate by melting unstable fat crystals, making it smoother, easier to shape, and shiny.
So now, I'm going to start building up my chocolate cup.
To create the cup, use a flat rectangular plastic sheet, which you can buy from cookery shops.
My little ladle here. Très bien. I'm going to pick up. Where is my knife? It's here. My knife is here. Très bien. Voilà. Merci, Adam. Voilà.
Place the chocolate-coated plastic into a circular mould.
Parfait. I'm pressing it on it here. Then afterward, I'm opening it up completely so it's a perfect circle. So I'm going to do the joint. You can take a little bit of chocolate here. Voilà. Oh. Voilà, très bien. So I'm going to do my sauces now. I tried all sort of surface. Glass. China. And they're all stuck because they are porous. Okay, so I saw that piece of cling film. I say, Eureka, of course. First thing you need to do is to oil your saucer so the cling film actually can slip on it. You just squeeze, and I'm going to dip it. Voila. And I'm going to move away the excess. And I'm going to create a lip in order to release later my chocolate saucer. So now I'm going to do the handles.
Make a cone using greaseproof paper. Pour in melted chocolate, cut a hole in the end, and shape your handles.
Voilà, très bien. You never put them in the fridge to set. Okay, that will get, again, all white. Room temperature, that's perfect, okay?
All the chocolate moulds will need at least 5 hours to set.
Now, I'm going to do the sugar cubes. And the great thing about sugar cubes, okay, is the ganache.
A ganache is the same as chocolate truffle filling and is a great way to make homemade chocolates.
Burst through the skin and boil over.
To make, boil double cream, add 70% dark chocolate and stir.
It gets that lovely satiné, that lovely quality, silky quality. It's so beautiful. Cling film. So then voila, you put it in here. Voila.
The ganache is now ready to put in the fridge to set for 6 hours.
So, the ganache is cooled down nicely, and all what I need is hot blade. Hop, just cuts like butter. Okay? Très bien. I got the lovely sugar cubes here. Now we are ready to build the café crème. Okay? Just unfold and very carefully. That's it, voila. And you've got your perfect saucer. Okay, très bien.
Raymond's using his solid top cooker to weld all the pieces together, but a hot pan will do the job just as well.
That cup becomes coffee proof. Gently, gently press slowly. So now, the little handle. Voilà, très bien.
Line the base with a biscuit soaked in espresso.
Très bien, in the bottom here.
Now for the filling.
This is an iced espresso parfait. Just egg yolk frosted up with espresso coffee and whipped cream, which you freeze. Frenchman cannot help it, a little bit of alcohol.
Add a dash of cherry liqueur to the sabayon foam to make the espresso topping.
Voila. Okay, so Tom, the young man who has worked with us for 2 months now, and is going to taste the café crème. So no pressure, Tom.
No.
Okay, so what do you think?
Very nice.
Out of 1 out of 10, first.
8.
8, you're a tough guy. You're a tough guy. You just worked with me 2 months and you give me 8. I've done very well. Have a good day. Voilà, très bien.